Hey everybody, this is Jason Wilson with the Curious About Cannabis podcast. Today I wanted to make a video presenting an interesting tool that I think a lot of you out there will really be interested in and want to play around with. It's something that came up on a recent interview that I was doing with the CEO of Confident Cannabis, Steve Alperon, and he was talking about the system called Connect that they've put together that is essentially a 3D visualization tool that allows you to look at different chemical profiles of different strains that are in their database and find things that are similar and see the diversity of chemical profiles under the same strain name, all sorts of cool stuff. So I haven't done too much playing around with this yet, so I thought it'd be a cool opportunity to dive in and look at this together and see what we learn, and hopefully this will be valuable to you and you can check this out on your own after you watch this video. So to start out, we're going to go to connect.confidentcannabis.com. And are you over 21 years of age? Say yes. And then when it loads, cool, yeah. So looks like we've got two main clusters here. And if I were to guess, I would assume this is probably, yep, CBD cluster, your high CBD cultivars, and then this is all of the high THC cultivars. Very cool. So, what we see immediately is not too surprising. The THC-rich cultivar group is much more diverse and mapped out than the CBD is, and I'm sure over time this CBD group is going to expand and get bigger, more complicated, but okay. And so let's start with the THC-rich group. Let's just kind of see some main differences here. So let's pick something at the top here, Purple Hindu Kush. So we click one of those data points, and this box comes up with a little wheel on it, and we see that Purple Hindu Kush, it's high THC, labeled as an indica, but I'll make more videos on this, but I don't really care too much about indica sativa designations. They're essentially meaningless at this point. And some of you may disagree. Be interested to argue about that. And then this is coming from Oregon. And we see this was got a lot of THC in it, some CBG. Looks like a decent amount of alpha pinene and beta pinene, beta caryophyllene, a little bit of humulene, a lot of limonene, a little bit of myrcene, a little bit of linalool, and basically no terpinolene. All right. So looks like we can bookmark things here, so let's click that. Bookmark added, cool. And let's go down here to the lower part of the map here. Let's choose something really far away, orange sherbet. Here we've got some terpinolene, so that's very different than the last sample we looked at on the opposite side of the map. A little sliver of linalool, limonene, myrcene, a little bit of beta caryophyllene, not much pinene, a little bit of humulene, some CBG, maybe some traces of CBDV, THCV. Okay, and let's pick something over here. And here we see more CBN, more myrcene and beta caryophyllene, a little more alpha pinene, not much terpinolene again. Okay, let's see. Let's find something kind of in the middle. Okay, cool. So here we see a good bit of limonene, good bit of myrcene, a good bit of linalool compared to the other ones we've looked at. Looks like also a good bit of alpha and beta pinene and beta caryophyllene and humulene. Wow, this is a very terpene-rich sample, it looks like. Decent amount of CBDV, which, something I know from doing the analytical chemistry work that I've done with cannabis, that depending on what method you're using to test for cannabinoids, THCV and CBDV are a little tricky because, their molecules are a little smaller than things like THC and CBD because the little carbon chains coming off of the main molecular structure are just a little shorter. And the consequence of that is that their molecular mass is a little more similar to a lot of terpenes than it is to cannabinoids. And what that means is when you're separating these compounds out in a chromatography column, whether it be on a gas chromatograph or high pressure liquid chromatography system. Um, Sometimes THCV and CBDV can separate at the same point that some terpenes would separate. So when I see values like this of CBDV showing up in a high THC sample, that may be accurate, but just be aware that it also may not be accurate. I mean, at this point, with where cannabis testing is in the industry, I just don't put too much stock in THCV and CBDV numbers, and that's just kind of the way it is right now. Um, so anyway, let's bookmark that as well. We'll come back to that. Let's check out the CBD cluster. So can we zoom in? Is there a way to do that? Yeah, there we go. Pennywise. This looks like it's got both THC and CBD, a lot of terpinolene, a lot of mercy. It's very interesting. Let's bookmark that one. I find that pretty interesting. ACDC, there's a popular one. A lot of myrcene, a lot of CBD. Yep. A lot of pinene, but yep. Cool. Let's bookmark that. Awesome. Well, I dig that. Let's do a search. So let's search for something really common. Let's search for OG Kush. And right away, of course, we get a bunch of dots that light up in the main high THC cluster. And right away, we see that there's a lot of different things called OG Kush with very different chemical profiles, which this is very interesting. This just kind of confirms what I've already been kind of preaching in some of my interviews and what you'll hear in some of the podcast episodes that'll come out, or maybe have already come out depending on when you're listening to this. But let's look at some of these differences. So let's see, this OG Kush got a lot of CBN. This may be an old sample since it's got CBN. Bit of myrcene, a bit of terpinolene. Let's bookmark that. Let's go over here. Something else that's very different. Okay, so this one's got more CBG, basically no terpinolene or myrcene. Let's bookmark that one. And let's find something else that's far away. Whoa, okay. So this one, a lot of limonene, a lot of myrcene, a lot of beta-caryophyllene and pinene, a lot of CBG. Once again, not much terpinolene. And let's look at this one. A lot of limonene. Not a lot of anything else. Some trace amounts. Bookmark that. And let's see. Find one more. Another one with a lot of limonene and myrcene. Linalool. Cool. Bookmark that. Interesting. So let's see what we can do with these bookmarks. I noticed this button here. So it shows everything that we've bookmarked since we started our session here. Let's look at one of these OG Kushs. Let's look at this one and see what happens. So I clicked on it, and it's essentially showing me the sample that I selected, and then lines going out to, I assume these are things that are chemically similar to this sample. It's basically a bunch of OG Kush varieties. So is it things that are chemically similar or just other types of OG Kush? I think it's things that are similar, because I'm still seeing a good bit of limonene and myrcene. A lot of limonene there. Let's look at another one. Let's go to... Where's that one with terpinolene in it? That's kind of an outlier. Let's see. See what pops up here. OG Kush. Let's see. So I've got this search on. Let's take this search off. See if it does the same thing. So let's click on this. Okay, cool. So it was showing me just the OG Kush chemical relatives because I had the search in the search window. So if you clear the search out, then it shows you things that are chemically similar of different strains. So see Dutch Treat. Ah, yeah, look at that. There's that terpinolene. myrcene, so you can compare, the Dutch Treat on the left, the OG Kush sample on the right, and see some things that are similar. Jack Flair, once again, more terpinolene, limonene, myrcene. So this is pretty cool. So this allows you to kind of quickly find things that are chemically similar. Now, from a research perspective, that's not necessarily super helpful because, as we've already demonstrated, just doing the search for OG Kush, the strain name itself is not indicative of a single chemical profile. It's not predictive in that way. But something I noticed, let's go back to the strawberry cough. Let's say you really like this chemical profile of the strawberry cough. What it looks like you can do is click on this show nearest available, and yep, so what it did, it looks like it found a sample that is similar in profile, so it's still got that high limonene, a little bit of myrcene, a little bit of linalool, that same CBDV, the pinene, etc. Found super silver haze, and look, this button changed to show in wholesale gallery. Now, Confident Cannabis has a software platform called Wholesale that basically allows businesses to source biomass and extract and other cannabis products for wholesale. And so I imagine when we click on this, I don't have an account for Confident Cannabis Wholesale, but it looks like it would take you to the wholesale platform where you could actually go and buy this material. So that's super valuable, I think, for the industry. Like I said, a little limited for research purposes in the sense of, you can't use this information to assume that super silver haze in general is always going to have this chemical profile. But if, as a researcher, you're looking for material that needs to have a certain chemical composition, this might shortcut you there. And of course, for buyers of biomass, whether they're extract producers or dispensaries, it looks like this allows you to easily find material of a similar chemical profile that you like. So I dig it. That's really cool. And something else they have on here, regions. Strain regions. Regions are discrete areas of the cluster that have common characteristics. Regions are a convenient way to navigate and explore the cluster. So these are basically little subgroups within the main clusters. This is cool. So this looks like another way to easily and quickly find a chemical profile that you like. So I'm a big fan of terpinolene, so it looks like region 3 and region 8. Region 8's terpinolene, myrcene, CBG. What was region 3? Terpinolene, pinene. So let's do region 8. It's this cluster here. And let's see, why is that still selected? Let me go to reset. Let's try this again. Go to regions, go to region 8. There we go, now I can click on it. So if you ever run into a situation where it's got a bunch of things pre-selected and you can't click on things, just click on reset here and do what you're doing before, and it'll allow you to click on what you want. Cool. And then show in wholesale gallery. Yeah, I don't know why I just clicked that again. I know it happens. Cool. So this is pretty neat. Interested to see how this develops over time. But go and check it out. Go to connect.confidentcannabis.com and take a look. Let me know what you think, and if you play around with it for a while, what's some stuff that you learned checking it out. I can already see this could be a definitely a teaching tool in my classes and things. So I dig that. Cool. Well, thanks for checking out this video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon to get notifications for more videos. And I look forward to bringing you more cannabis content soon. Thanks so much, and take it easy. Bye-bye.